So, Dame Hex, you are cooking breakfast for dinner. One, I love it. Did you bring enough for the whole class? What's my hair doing? Move that over there. It wants to do what it wants to do. We will live with it. What breakfast are you cooking? Some scrambly eggs or something fancy like a waffle? I find waffles very fancy because they require a special thing to waffle them. Is everyone ready for some story time? I'm excited to finally read, hold on, let me finish my, some water. I'm excited to finally read Revenge of the Rainbow Dragon since I've been talking about it so much. Oh, hash browns. I love hash browns. I like when I have the foresight to cut my potatoes ahead of time and like leave them between some paper towels so that they get like really dry and they fry up really well. I'm hungry now. I think Dusty will be making dinner so we can enjoy dinner after the stream. Hi Matthew, thanks for joining. Yeah, we're reading a choose your own or pick your path adventure book from TSR called Revenge of the Rainbow Dragons. We've read a few of the Heart Quest books before, and those had like really long sections before you got to choose your choice. Sometimes you didn't even get a choice, it just made you jump to a different page. But flipping through this, I think this has shorter sections and more choices, more familiar to what I'm used to from my childhood. But before we get to that, I always warm up with a little bit of show and tell. And I'm really excited. Sorry, just seeing on the screen this little piece of hair. It's going to bug me all stream, I think. Okay, there we go. This is my favorite board game, and I wanted to show it off. It is called Monarch. It is basically like Pretty Pretty Princess, but legit, or like powerful, powerful princess. And I wanted to bring it up today because the creators of this board game, a company called Resonim, just launched a Kickstarter for a board game that is like a dinner party board game, but for surrealists. The art style looks so cool. I'm really excited they're coming out with something new. And I commented on Twitter in one of the threads, and they reached out to me on their account and were like, we think you're really cool too, and just want to say thank you for all the support you give to Monarch. And I was like, I'm fangirling out right now. And they said, no, we are. And it was just very, very sweet. But if you haven't heard me talk about Monarch before, this is it. You can have up to 4 players, and you are all sisters, princesses. And I'll read a little bit of flavor text. There's a whole story to it, so there's some box text on the back. So Monarch. The heavy silence of the great hall was broken only by the rustling of dresses and the clanking of armor as the queen's daughters gathered around her throne. The queen gazed at each young woman, intense in her scrutiny. When all movement had ceased, the queen spoke. I am dying, she declared. During my long reign, I have guided this realm to prosperity. I have vanquished the marauders who once roamed our forests, terrorizing our people. No enemy fleet dares to approach our shores. Today, Minervia is at peace, but now it will fall to one of you to continue my legacy. Which of you has the grace and power to be our next ruler? Da da da. Resonim is in the chat now. Hi! Thanks for joining as I show off Monarch. So what's really cool, okay, you can see on the back a little bit of what gameplay looks like. There are like fields and cities and towns that you can upgrade to like different beautiful art cards. And there's resources you collect. You collect food, you harvest, or you collect money via taxing. And you use those resources to get you cards. And I picked out some of my favorite cards to show you. Oh, Resonim, thank you for subscribing. Enjoy your little Jarmathy emotes. So the different cards have different categories that are associated with your approach to ruling this kingdom. And those are culture, might, bounty. Another approach is balance, which is to have a few of every card. And the cards all have really, really gorgeous art on them. Let's see if this will focus. Focus. Please. Focus, please. All right, let's give up and let's try again. See if it'll work. There we go. So one of my favorite approaches is culture. But I also really like collecting these clothing cards, which you can tell because there's a little dress icon behind the text. The artwork is gorgeous. Some of the clothing, though, is in different categories, like might. You can have this really cool badass armor. And this is one of my favorite things to do is because you get different points or crowns for the different cards you collect in your hand or your court. And this is one of my favorite cards to get, which is that you get extra crowns for collecting clothes. It's called Wardrobe Master. There we go. And I just like the thought that my style is so badass that I'm the best ruler in all the land. If you like collecting different pets or animals, there's also lots of beast cards. Like here's one of them, the Radiant Dragon. Kino Pup, thanks for following. There's like monkeys as well. Dusty, I tried to find the monkeys on ostriches, but I couldn't on my quick flip through. But I did find, I thought the tart cart interacted with the monkeys, but the tart cart actually interacts with the Radiant Dragon card, which is if you have the tart cart, it gets canceled out if you have a Radiant Dragon, which I think suggests that the dragon loves to eat tarts. That's my takeaway. So there's lots of like little aspects to the story through how the cards interact, and it's just beautiful. And then this is one of my new favorite cards because I got it at last year's PAX Unplugged as like a promo card. Look, it's a Tarrasque! But like I think like the mythology sort of Tarrasque, not the D&D one. It looks like a lion dragon turtle. So the art itself is gorgeous. And a lot of what drew me to the game. But it's for folks who don't necessarily play a lot of like really intense board games. The rules are easy enough to pick up. So I feel like it's a very good intro to hardcore board games or European style board games. And then into role-playing games if you want to like suck your family into your hobby. Oh, yeah, Jess, when you and Joey eventually come and visit us, I'm going to make Dusty and Joey play princesses with us. And I'm going to wear my real tiara because got it for my wedding, I might as well. Life is like trying to get your webcam to focus. Sometimes you have to give up and immediately try again. Yeah, basically. You're right, Justice. I think it's well known that dragons love a good blueberry tart. So yeah, Monarch, one of probably honestly my favorite board game. Who just swallowed? Growligator. Growlgator? It's hard to tell if that's an I or an L. Either way, thank you for following. This is probably like my number one board game that I own. Honestly, I have some other like pretty high up there. Like I love House on Haunted Hill. But if I had to pick only one to have in my collection, it would be this one. So thanks for letting me share that with you all. Growligator. All right, got it the first time. Hyperzyle or Hyperzeal. Thank you for following. Thank you everyone for letting me share that board game with you. I always like talking about it, so that was just very exciting today, talking to the folks at Resonim. And I'm really excited about the new game they have coming out. It's the same creator. But how about let's start some story time, huh? See if we can get through Revenge of the Rainbow Dragons. Okay. Does anyone want to take guesses on what happens? Are we Team Rainbow Dragons, or are Rainbow Dragons taking revenge on us? And also, how many choices do you think we'll get through before we come to the conclusion of our story? Everyone's rooting for the dragons. Not surprised. Do we think tarts are going to come up for these dragons. Or implied blueberry tarts. Everyone is Team Dragons. I hope the dragons are good guys then. Or I hope we're good guys, because whatever side the dragon's on are the good guys. Ooh, I think we have an animal companion right off the bat. All right, let's do this thing. Foxes aren't supposed to fly, Jamie, Fox says nervously as he hovers in midair. How about putting me down? Leave the flying to Featherface. I feel better in old terra extra firma. Hush, friend Fox, scolds Pentagarn. Consider yourself part of an important lesson. This is the first time Jamie has levitated an object, and you know he needs silence to concentrate. Now I'm an object, mutters Fox in disgust as he dangles above the ground. You ache with the effort of holding the spell. I agree, Necronicom. A fox is not an object. And in fact, if this were modern D&D rules, this would not fly. Ooh! I didn't mean that pun. Nobody enjoy that pun. This would not fly with D&D rules. You ache with the effort of holding the spell. Just as you feel you are mastering the skill, a thunderous noise rolls through the room. Your concentration breaks, and Fox falls to the floor with a thump. Oh, Fox, I'm sorry, you cry, rushing to his side. I'll be more careful next time. Next time, growls Fox, forget it. I have to go dig a den, a very long one. He turns and trots quickly from the room. Unfortunate attitude, says Owl, but what can one expect from the family of Canidae? Well done, child, says Pentagarn. You're moving ahead nicely with your studies. I hadn't planned on your being able to lift objects for another 6 months or so. Again, a fox is not an object. Friday, too late, I enjoyed it. You take that back. You take that back. I hadn't planned on your being able to lift objects for another 6 months or so, but now that we've been interrupted, I suppose we'd better see who's at the door. And he makes a small gesture with his hand. Poof! A cloud of dust appears, then clears. Before you stands a travel-stained man, one hand raised as if knocking on a door. Lowering his hand, the traveler snaps. Do you always answer the door like this? But then, what else should I expect from a wizard? Giving a short bow, he says, Sir, I come from Rainbow Castle. Love that there's a place called Rainbow Castle. Your presence is required, no later than 4 days hence. Is it a party? You ask hopefully. The messenger fixes you with an icy glance. Hardly. You will answer to charges of occupying the Castle of the Pillars and calling yourselves wizard and apprentice. I feel like if you're charging someone with something, you should really lead with that. And I'm also now thinking Rainbow Castle might not be the good guys. I'm not sure. Oh, Hannah. I'm really liking all the lovely friends in chat, too. It makes me very happy to read for you all. This castle is part of the domain assigned to the wizards Malice, Pothos, and Rubus. Unless you can support your claim to the castle and win their permission to practice wizardry in the area, you will be banished from this land. Ooh, harsh, says the messenger coldly. And now, if you will show me to the door, I will return to Rainbow Castle. I don't think you can, say all of that and then ask for favors, demand to be shown to the door. Poof! A cloud of smoke forms in front of the messenger, and when it clears, a large wooden door stands before him. A mere first-level spell, sneers the messenger. You'll have to do better than that at Rainbow Castle. Still sneering, he turns and strides out of the room. Rainbow Castle? Wizards? What's this all about, sir? You ask worriedly. Centuries ago, when I lost my kingdom to the evil one, Rainbow Castle was in the hands of the forces of good, sighs Pentagarn, and the three brothers, Malice, Pothos, and Rubus, were apprenticed to a third-rate wizard. Obviously, while I was in the evil one's power, the balance changed. I think we had better meet with them. It's always best to be polite to one's neighbors. Taking this very lightly. I think I'll sit this one out, says Fox, poking his head through the doorway. That fellow doesn't look too pleasant, and he's only the messenger. Pshaw, says Owl. Don't be such a coward. Remember, cowards die 1,000 deaths. The valiant die but once. Go feather a nest, beak brain, growls Fox. We will let Jamie decide. As my apprentice and the heir to this kingdom, Jamie must learn to make good, sound decisions, says Pentagarn. And suddenly there are 3 pairs of eyes staring at you. Well, you stammer, thinking quickly, the way I see it, we have only 2 choices. We could go to Rainbow Castle and see if we can work out our problems with our neighbors, or we can ignore them and don't go. All right, everybody, that is our first choice. Do we go to Rainbow Castle or do we ignore them? Hannah, the evil one, wishes they had a better villain title. Oh my God, Justice. I'd welcome to Rainbow Castle. I teach you Roy G. Biv, but the only colors you are about to learn are black and blue. Oh man, can chat rewrite Revenge of the Rainbow Dragons? I would love that. All right, everyone's saying go to the castle. So we're going to turn to page 110. Really, that choice is kind of like, you want to go on this adventure, or let's just close this book and put it away. I don't know, Hannah. The last book we read, Isle of Illusion, was very railroady. If we said we didn't want to do things, and it kept giving us the choice to not do things, you could tell it was taking you on an off branch and just right back to the same story. One of our viewers, Randall Wright, I think is their Twitter handle, actually owned the 2 books we read and mapped them out, all the different choices. It was really interesting how different the structures for the books were, even though they're the same style of book. But in any case, we carry on in our adventure. It is snowing as you and your friends set off for Rainbow Castle. It seems as though our opponents are able to sway the seasons, observes Owl, as trees, rocks, and hills disappear in the whiteness. Yeah, and the snow's no fun either, says Fox, plunging through the nose-deep snow. You could have stayed at home, Fox. You didn't have to come. Oh no, if something horrible happens, I'd rather know about it right away. And besides, you guys need me. Swallowing your laughter, you turn to Pentagarn. Sir, why don't you do something about the snow? Why don't you perform some magic and change it back to summer? Think, Jamie. If our foes are putting all their efforts into creating winter just to annoy us, they can't send anything really dangerous against us, and they will believe that they have us in their power. Ooh, Pentagarn, wise. You wipe your cold, dripping nose and try to appreciate Pentagarn's plan, but the snow melts inside your boots, slithers down your neck, and freezes on your eyelashes. Even Pentagarn is sniffling by the time Rainbow Castle comes into view several days later. Why do they call it Rainbow Castle, you ask, staring at the cascades of dirty gray ice that drape over the black towers and hang over the narrow barred windows. A cold, bitter wind wails around the grim walls and plucks and tears at your clothes. In my youth, it was a beautiful place, Pentagarn answers sadly. It looks like it's all closed for the winter. How about we go home and wait for spring? Whines Fox. Ah, spring, good idea, says Pentagarn. Rainbow Castle is beautiful in the spring. And with a snap of his fingers, snow and ice begin to melt. Inch by inch, foot by foot, winter retreats, and in its place, warm, soft, and green, spring comes to the land. Birds sing, flowers bloom, and gentle breezes blow. But the castle remains gray and gloomy. That's much better, and now they know we're here, says Pentagarn. Ah, sweet spring, full of sweet days and roses, sighs Owl, spreading his great wings to the sun. Why can't you speak plain English, mouse breath, snarls Fox. I was just noting the welcome arrival of this magical spring, oh, illiterate one. What did you call me? Barks Fox. Fox. Owl. Stop this bickering now, or I'll send you both home, you say firmly. Fixing the 2 with a stern gaze, you quickly get out of your winter clothes and hurry after Pentagarn. And here are our hosts, says Pentagarn. 3 men stand at the end of the bridge. One is tall and thin, one is very, very fat, and the third is as tiny as a small child. See here, Pentagarn, what is the meaning of this? Demands the tall, thin wizard. And an outrage, I say. This warm weather will not be tolerated. We prefer winter. And with a wave of his hand and a loud clap of thunder, spring vanishes as if it had never been, and winter descends in a flurry of flakes. Here is a picture of the 3 wizards. Fight the tiny one? Okay, Friday. If there's an option to just, like, punt the tiny one, we'll do that. Tisk tisk, clicks Pentagon. I was enjoying the spring myself. And with a gesture and a sheet of lightning, winter is again replaced by spring. I cannot imagine what side effects this is having on the local ecosystem. Can't be good. Also, everyone's probably getting sick right now. The three wizards grind their teeth in rage, and their faces turn purple with fury. Now the tall wizard steps forward and begins to make magical gestures. Someone cast counterspell. Oh, okay. Sorry, that might have been what happened. We'll see. Pentagon replies with movements of his own. Sparks fly and sheets of flame erupt from the wizards, and winter and spring flicker in and out. The two wizards stand firm as the air crackles from white to blue, warm to cold. At last, Pentagon laughs a great booming laugh and slaps his knee. Well done, Malice, but come, let's not confuse the birds any longer. Let it remain spring. Now that you've gotten us here, why don't you tell me what this is all about? Still laughing, he walks over and puts his arm around the unsmiling wizard's shoulders and begins to walk toward the castle. As you follow Pentagon into the castle, the high walls seem to swallow you up. Your footsteps echo hollowly as you enter a large room with 3 throne-like chairs set upon a raised platform. The wizards bump and push as they climb onto the platform, each trying to claim the center chair. There are no other seats, and you look about in discomfort as the wizards stare down at you with small, nasty smiles. Key squared, thanks for following. Also, I think it's ridiculous, just imagining them trying to fight over the middle chair. They must look very silly. Pentagon says, well, I see we need a few more chairs. And with a snap, 2 big, deep chairs of gold, studded with precious gems and covered with soft, deep purple velvet, appear behind you. Fox settles himself in a velvet-covered basket, and Owl clings to a golden bird perch. Ah, that's better, says Pentagon, sinking into his chair. Crossing his legs and folding his hands, he says, now then, gentlemen, what can we do for you? The wizards twitch nervously, pull their scraggly beards, and whisper. They seem to be urging each other to do something. Finally, Tiny Rubus is levitated from his chair by one of his brothers. Stumbling to his feet, he draws himself to his full, puny height, puffs up his chest, and says, Pentagon, you have been brought here to answer charges of practicing wizardry without a license. This area belongs to us. When you left, we applied to the Grand Council, and they granted us control. How nice for you all, drawls Pentagon. I won't bother to ask why you never helped me in all the years. I fought to rid the country of the evil one, who caused me to leave, as you put it. But I might ask why you never chased away the evil one when he was certainly practicing a most unpleasant form of magic. I don't believe the council ever issued him a license. The evil one. Well, we just hadn't gotten around to it, squeaks Pothos from out of his great bulk. Besides, he ate the first 3 messengers we sent. Indeed, says Pentagon with a smile. But we are not the issue, yells Pothos. You are. You and your illegal apprentice. By order of the Grand Council, you and your brat and your zoo are under house arrest. You have 2 choices. Either leave and never again practice magic under penalty of death, or meet us in a duel of skills. Allow me to confer with my apprentice, says Pentagon, drawing you to his side. Well, Jamie, what do you think we should do? These fellows appear very foolish and harmless, but that is not true. They are dangerous, and the council has given them the right to practice within this district. They are well within their rights to demand that we either quit or fight them. It is your decision as well as mine. All right. If you choose to challenge the wizards, we'll turn to page 133. Or if we choose to go to the Grand Council and argue, we can turn to page 91. Wizard fight. I mean, neither of these is the option to a wizard fight unless you go to the Grand Council and challenge someone to a duel there. So this doesn't seem like the 2 options we were given. And there's no number 3, punt the tiny one. Although, honestly, I feel a little bad for him because the others are kind of picking on him, too. Wi-Fi, short for wizard fight. I love that. Yeah, we're going to challenge the wizards. I think that's option 2. Oh, no, wait. Option 1, choose to challenge the wizards. Okay. We're going to fight. All right, 133. Okay. I wonder if I should have held that page, but we didn't get through too many decisions, so we can find our way back if we need to. Okay. Hannah, thanks for filling folks in on the story so far. We accept your challenge, gentlemen, says Pentagarn. Excellent, hisses Rubus. These are the rules. No magical items may be used. Your staff, ring, and cube must be set aside, and we will remove all of our special aids. As he speaks, a variety of rings, charms, and necklaces clatter to the floor. Any magic, so long as it is performed by your skills alone, is allowed. How do we know you're not hiding something special, you ask? Would we do that? Protests Pothos. Do owls fly? Sneers Fox. Any other rules? Asks Pentagarn. No, it's very simple, replies Pothos. The four of us go into the Great Hall, and whoever emerges alive wins. The three of you against Pentagarn. That's not fair, you exclaim. Fair? Fair? Of course it's fair. Your precious Pentagarn studied under the Great Gump. We had to settle for the lowly Scrumbog, and we learned things only when we could wake him up or keep him from getting drunk. And you forget that Pentagarn's at least 300 years older than we are. He's had all that time to practice and acquire new knowledge. It will take everything we three know to make it fair, but we have a few tricks up our sleeves. You missed that part of Forrest Gump? Also, yeah, just very casually battle to the death gauntlet. All right. Don't worry, Jamie, says Pentagarn. Everything will be just fine. Don't be so sure of that, sneers Malice. Well, now there's no reason to wait. Let's begin, says Pentagarn, striding toward the door. You trail after him uncertainly. Halt, screeches Rubus. Where do you think you're going? No one goes into that room except us. The zoo stays outside. Just give me the word, kid, and I'll bite him, snarls Fox. The fellow is correct, Jamie, says Owl. The contest is not ours. We must not intrude. But what shall we do? You exclaim angrily. I've never heard someone say the word shall angrily. Beeps and boops. Thanks for the follow. Also, super cute username. But what shall we do? You exclaim angrily. I can't just sit around here and twiddle my thumbs. No, indeed, says Malice. We would like to know that you will not be twiddling or meddling while we are occupied. We have several suggestions, says Rubus, rubbing his hand together. We have 3 choices. You can go to Limbo. It's very nice at this time of year. You can rest in the tower. The view is quite nice. Or you can relax in our game room in the basement. Are we going to Limbo, the tower, or the basement? Yeah, Miss Marcy, I also appreciate that Fox is fighty. No, Friday, a twiddle metal battle is distinctly not allowed. So far, 2 votes for Game Room, 1 for Limbo, 2 for Limbo. Looks like a battle between Game Room and Limbo right now. Tower, Limbo. All right. Seems like Limbo is the winner here. Okay. Page 139. There is a sudden poof, a bright white light, and a feeling of weightlessness. Fox, Owl, where are you? You yell in panic from the depths of a pink fog. Yip, 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 you hear Fox scream. I fear we have a problem, young one, says Owl as he flaps down through the pink cloud and lands gently on your shoulder. Where are we? You say, floundering in a soft, pink, cottony substance. I fear we have been deceived, sighs Owl. Limbo is not the name of a geographical location on Earth, it's a state of being. Limbo means far away from anywhere that matters. It's total helplessness. We turn to page 69. Very nice. Unless we die on that page, then I take that back. Okay. Yo! Howls Fox in anguish. Fox! Fox, come here, come to me. you call into the wispy fog, and soon a cold nose pushes into your hand and a trembling body presses against your leg. Where are we, and how do we get home? Quavers Fox. I fear we are somewhere on the plane of elemental air, says Owl, far from home. Yow! Howls Fox. Fox, stop! I'll get us home somehow, you say with a confidence you do not feel. You gather the quivering fox into your arms and stroke his head to comfort him. Owl, why don't you fly around, see what you can see, then come back and tell us? Nodding wisely, Owl hurtles into the pink mist and disappears swiftly. Nervously, you sit down on the cottony material which sags but holds you. It seems hours before you hear the flap of wings. You give a shrill whistle, and soon Owl descends out of the mist. Your guidance call was most welcome, Jamie, says Owl. Everything looks much the same from above. Be polite later, Eggface. What did you see? Can we get out of here? Asks Fox. I am uncertain as to an exact method of escape. I saw only 2 items of interest. 1, a tall cloud castle, and 2, a series of thundercloud mountains. The mountains are so sheer as to defy climbing, but they have a number of large caves in them that may be inhabited. Oh, Marcy, I would die for Fox, to be honest. I just want to give Fox some comforting scritchies. You sigh deeply. Well, I guess I can't expect a sign that says this way home, but now what are we going to do? Okay, here are our choices. They'll bring us back sooner or later, no matter who wins. Let's stay here and wait. Let's go check out that cloud castle, or let's go at the cloud mountains and find out what lives in those caves. So, cloud mountains, castle, or just hang out where we are. I vote for castle. Hydrate. One for castle, 1 for mountains, 2 for mountains. All right. 3 for mountains. All right, cool. Looks like most people are voting mountains, so we're going to turn to page 84. Okay. Walking on the pink fluff towards the Thundercloud Mountains is very difficult. The stuff pulls at your legs like quicksand. Every step is an effort. In a short time, you and Fox are exhausted, yet the Cloud Mountains still seem far away. Not another step, declares Fox. It's unfortunate that I cannot share the gift of wings, says Owl, flapping easily above you. There's quite a pleasant wind blowing. Suddenly an idea strikes you. Owl, come down here. I have a great idea. Quickly you take off your long billowing cape. Now, I want you to take the top of this cape in your claws and I'll hold on to the bottom, close my eyes, and concentrate on levitating. Fox can climb up into my vest. Oh, cute. Cute. Like the little head like sticking out here. Love that. That way, I figure when we get up high enough, the wind will catch the cloak like a sail and blow us over to the mountains. What do you think? Isn't that a good idea? Ask me in an hour, mutters Fox. Truly an inspired concept, says Owl as he gathers up the cloak in his claws. You close your eyes, concentrate, hang on to the cloak, and up, up, up you go. The wind grabs hold of the material. Rancid Saturn, thank you for following. The wind grabs hold of the material, fills it full, and instantly you are flying through the misty air at a fast pace. But suddenly the wind shifts, and before you can adjust the cloak, you are turning head over heels in the air. Help! Barks Fox. You open your eyes in confusion, and zip, the 3 of you plunge downward until you stop abruptly somewhere in mid-cloud. You know the one nice thing about flying here, asks Fox as he climbs up out of a deep puffy cloud hole? When you crash, it doesn't hurt. Although you take a few more falls, you soon master the method and are soaring easily through the sky. The cloud caves are visible, says Owl. I estimate our arrival time to be 3 minutes. I recommend we make an indirect approach. I cannot see the residents of the caves, but it never hurts to be cautious. And phrases mid-cloud versus deep, puffy cloud hole. They definitely evoke some different images. So we've got a choice to make, everybody. If we want to ignore Owl's advice and land directly in front of the caves, we'll turn to page 90. Or if we want to follow Owl's advice and land under the cloud cover in front of the caves, then we'll turn to page 44. So are we being cautious or throwing caution to the wind and just being direct? We've got 1 vote for sneaky. 2 votes for sneaky. You can tell it's a bunch of RPG players here. All right. Yeah, okay, we're going to be sneaky. We're going to turn to page 44. Ooh, this one has a picture, which is maybe a spoiler for what we're going to see next. Thanks for joining us for a little bit Friday. It was nice having you in the chat. Settling down in the dense cloud cover, you stare at the caves. All you can tell is that they are very large. A peculiar multicolored glow shimmers through the opening, but you do not know where it comes from or what could be making it. Why are we sitting here, growls Fox. Let's go down there and check it out. No, let's wait. I'd like to see what lives in there before we have to face it. Fox grumbles, but does not argue. You do not have long to wait. Around a thundercloud mountain come 3 of the most unusual dragons you have ever seen. Each is covered with scales that shimmer and glow and change color before your astonished eyes. The largest dragon is in the lead, holding a chunk of bright blue substance in its jaws. Behind it, a slightly smaller dragon carries a mouthful of crimson red. Last of all is a small, delicate dragon who carries a little bundle of golden yellow. With grace unusual for animals so large, the immense creatures flow smoothly through the air. The sun bathes them in light, sparkling on the multicolored scales and filtering through gauzy, transparent wings. With a gentle swirl, they bank and turn, enter the cave, and disappear into its depths. Wow, will you look at that? Whistles Fox. Truly astonishing, murmurs Owl. I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it, you say. Well, what should we do? They look pretty nice to me. Not at all like dragons I've read about. They're so beautiful. Maybe they're friendly. We could try to talk to them. Have you lost your grip? Are you nuts? Says Fox. A dragon's a dragon. The only thing dragons understand is violence. Kill them, yes. Talk to them? No. I myself attempt to avoid danger whenever possible. I suggest that we avoid this confrontation completely, says Owl. If we want to try to talk to the dragons, we'll turn to page 150. If we want to fight them, we'll turn to page 65. If we want to go to the Cloud Castle, we'll go to the next page. Growligator says, don't listen to Fox. It's old and set in its opinions. Miss Marcy just repeats that we are Team Rainbow Dragons. Oh, everyone wants to talk to some Rainbow Dragons. Also, Miss Marcy's heartbroken. Fox is a bigot. Okay, we're going to turn to page 65. Oh, no, just kidding. 150 is Talk to the Dragons. Boop, boop, boop. Ooh, this is almost to the back. What does that mean? Ooh, a cool picture to look at in a bit. Okay. Sheathing your dagger, you call out, "Hello, we come in peace. May we approach?" A soft voice answers, "If you are friends and come in peace, you may enter." Cautiously, you enter the cave and then stop, stunned by brilliant bursts of color. Slowly, your vision clears, and you wish it had not. Before you looms a huge dragon. Lowering its head till it is level with yours, it says, "Why have you come, human? Do you seek to harm us or steal our colors? Be warned if that is your intent." You can steal their colors. I mean, I'm not going to do that because it sounds like it's a bad idea now, but I want to steal some colors. We come in peace. We are here against our will and wish only to return to our own world. How come you to the cloud world? Asks the dragon. Quickly you outline the events that have led to your present troubles. Malice, Pothos, Rubus. Hated names. Evil persons, says the dragon angrily. Let me show you what they have done. Turning gracefully, it leads you into the depths of the cave. You pass 3 nests woven of soft mist and a sprinkle of stars and stop at the far end of the cave. Shielding your eyes against the bright glow, you stare in awe at mounds of pure color. Horizon blue, storm green, moon orange, sun gold, dusk purple, twilight indigo, radiant red. All the colors of the rainbow, all carefully harvested by us when they are in their prime. After a storm, we gather up a section of each and blow a rainbow across the sky. It is our mission in life. Without us and others of our kind, there would be no rainbows. Should we vanish from the earth, there would be less beauty in the world, and when beauty dies, evil takes its place. Until recently, only a few hundred years ago, we lived on Earth in Rainbow Castle, our ancestral home, with the great wizard Chromos. But Chromos died, and no one was found to succeed him. Greed, evil, and war tore at the kingdom, and Malice, Pothos, and Rubus came to Rainbow Castle and declared war upon us. They used their magic, and before we could protect ourselves, they had killed most of us, including Cobalt, my brother, king of the Rainbow Dragons. Crystal tears tremble on the dragon's lashes. Somehow we three escaped and made our way home in the cloud caves, but even now we are not safe. Lately, Malice, Pothos, and Rubus have been creeping in while we are out gathering colors and stealing from us. They believe that they can change the colors into gems. Each time they fail, they return and steal more. Fools that they are, they do not realize that a rainbow is more precious, rare, and beautiful than any earthly gem. The last time they were here, we returned and caught them in their thievery. In their panic to escape, they threw a spear that almost hit Vermilion. Topaz chased them, but they got away. Jess, good summary in the chat. Scales heaving with emotion, the dragon fans herself with one large ring. Oh dear. If I allow my anger and grief to become hatred, I will sink to their level and be no better than they. Rob Latalis, thanks for following and joining our dragon story. Calming herself, the dragon adds, "You must think me terribly rude. Where are my manners? I am ultramarine, and these are my children, Topaz and Vermilion. Please excuse my outburst, but those wizards have caused us so much grief." Maybe my friends and I can help, you say. If we could get back to Earth, we'd stop them somehow. Getting to Earth is simple, says Topaz. Topaz, can we blow a rainbow bridge? Well, they're hard, keeping the colors all together, but if Vermilion helps, maybe. The littlest dragon peeks at you over the edge of her mother's gauzy wing. Meeting your eyes, she withdraws quickly, a bright blush flooding the scales of her head. Vermilion, stop this nonsense. We need your help. Come out and behave. And using a wing and her mouth, the dragon mother gently pushes a blushing Vermilion forward. Now, listen closely. This is what we have to do. And the largest dragon talks for a long time. Here's a picture of this dragon family. As the day draws to an end, Ultramarine rises to her feet and says, "Now remember all I've told you, especially what to do if Pentagarn has been harmed. We might be able to save him, but only if we work together." "Madam, your words are engraved on my heart," says Owl, bowing over Taloned hand. Flustered, the dragon says, "Come now, children. We must blow a nice sturdy bridge." Placing themselves before the piles of color, the dragons drink deeply until their cheeks bulge. Then, returning to the mouth of the cave, they begin to sway back and forth, and a soft melodic humming, like the sound of the sun shining in the rain, thrums from their lips. Wisps of color drift from Topaz and weave back and forth between strands of dew-drenched mist blown by Vermilion. Mingling with and binding their colors are those of their mother. At last, hollow-cheeked and flushed with effort, the dragons sit back on their haunches and smile gently at each other. You quickly step up to Vermilion before she can hide and kiss her on the cheek. Weird boundary thing there, but okay. A brilliant red glow covers her scales. "Don't you think we should get going?" Fox asks nervously. "Fox is right," says Ultramarine. "You must hurry. These bridges are very short-lived. And now remember all that I've told you." Although the bridge looks fragile and shaky, it actually feels quite strong. Slipping first on a bit of red, sliding now on a band of green, you clamber down the bridge, crossing at last from sky to earth. As your feet touch the ground, the bridge begins to break up and disappear. Within seconds, nothing remains but a few shreds of rainbow-studded mist and a sparkling rainbow scale at your feet. You pick it up quickly and hide it in your pocket. Then, before your courage can fail, you enter Rainbow Castle. Halls stand empty and silent, and no one appears. Striding to the giant double doors of the great hall, you grasp the handles and open the doors wide. Pentagon lies on the floor as though dead. Above him, holding magical devices in their hands, are the 3 wizards. You cheated! You shriek, outraged. The wizards scream in protest at the sight of you, but the 3 of you ignore them and rush to Pentagon's side. Thank the gods he's still alive! Quick, Owl, Fox, we must do as Ultramarine said! Ignoring the threats of the wizards, you grasp your 2 friends and concentrate on covering Pentagon with thoughts of caring and love. Instantly, the wizard's shouts fade to the buzz of mosquitoes on a summer's eve. A thick beam of radiant rainbow appears over your head. The shafts of pure color pour down upon you, bathing you in their brilliance and outlining you in gold. Suddenly, the line begins to waver and fade. Concentrate, you yell. The line grows stronger and holds firm. Slowly, like thunder fading into the distance, the colors dim and disappear. Pentagon stirs. You help him to his feet. The wizards broke their word and used magical amulets. Where are they? He asks. Turning, you look around the empty hall and see nothing but 3 mounds of color. Red, blue, and yellow. Then, even as you watch, the colors spin themselves into thin, wispy threads and slowly waft upward, disappearing. They really did it, you say in awe. Who did what? Groans Pentagon, clutching his head. The dragons! They reduced Malice, Pothos, and Rubus to their primary colors. Hurry, let's go outside. Bursting through the castle doors, you look up into the sky, and there, arching across the heavens in an enormous rainbow, more beautiful than you dreamed possible. There they are, you whisper. Do you think it's so beautiful because something so evil is being used for good? I think I missed something, says Pentagon, scratching his head. Don't worry, I'll tell you all about it, says Fox. I was great. The end. So, wow, everybody. Everyone's willingness to believe that dragons could have a gentler, lovelier side got us to a pretty good ending pretty quickly. Yeah, we did do it. Necronomicon, did it say what the evil wizard's primary colors were? They were just red, blue, and yellow piles? Like, is it like weird fleshy piles? What do we think the texture of these colors are? I was sort of imagining them like magical powders almost. It did say there was a pile of red, blue, and yellow. Justice. I love that they scream in protest, but it doesn't say what they are screaming. It's just like a pure, unintelligible screech. Oh, Doug, Eric Hall, thank you so much for the cheer and the beats. Looks like a bunch of folks got some emotes, myself included. Hooray! What did I get? Oh, a lovely trans pride color lion. I love it. Thanks for sharing those emotes with everybody, too. Rob Latalis imagines the colors as piles of glitter. Miss Marcy calls it the I was great. Admire Fox's revision of history. True. Fox wanted to fight the dragons, which I kind of feel like would not have ended well. If we're just learning how to levitate things, I don't think we're prepared to fight 3 dragons, or even the little dragon, if I'm being honest. Feel a little uncomfortable that we felt comfortable kissing a dragon we just met. Hannah says, a fox would have been turned into a pile of orange dust. Very possible. Justice drew a fox wizard for us. Give me time to color it and I'll post later. Yes, please tag me in it. I definitely want to see that. Necronomicon says, I feel like the wizard colors should have been like beige, gray, and ochre since they were evil. I agree. I don't think they deserve beautiful, bright, vibrant colors. It did just say red, blue, and yellow, so they could have been really dull versions of the colors. I don't feel like their souls are particularly bright. But honestly, we didn't get a lot of background on them. They're kind of evil just to be evil. Also, I'm pretty sure the other two books that were in this series have that same character. They have Pentagon in them. So we also have Pillars of Pentagon and Revolt of the Dwarves. Does this say anything about Pentagon on the back? It does not. So this one might not. But Pentagon, I guess... Is anyone else familiar with them? Are they just in these series of books? Are they an old TSR NPC? Miss Marcy, maybe the wizard colors were stolen if I understand the magic correctly. It does seem like they were stealing colors, trying to convert them into gems. Why they thought they could do that, I do not fully understand. So, let's see. There is an evil master in this other book. Now I kind of want to know about the evil one, which I agree with Hannah. Evil one, kind of wish they had a better evil person name. But maybe they are in this book. Let's say. Oh, we're also Jamie in this book. A young villager with a love for the enchanted forest everyone else fears. Turn the pages of this endless quest book for many new and exciting adventures. When it comes time for action, you decide. Will you fight the dragon skeleton with the brave fighter Baltek at your side? Will you try to trick the evil master whose slaves control Castle Pentagon? Or will you run into the unknown down another corridor followed by the lovely elven thief Lydia? The thrills and challenges don't stop with the first reading. You can ask yourself, what if I had done a different way? And read the book again to find out. It's true. I feel like there were a lot of really different paths. So, I don't know. Maybe we can even, try to read this book again another time. Ooh, Justice. Yes. Okay, so Justice says in chat, you should do a stream where you and one other person get the wizard dueling books and battle each other. I would totes watch Wizard Showdown. I've actually asked TK if I got those books, if they would read them with me. So there are, choose your own... pick your path adventure books from TSR, I think, where each person reads and then it affects what the other person reads and you kind of go back and forth like that. Hannah, they're not even the evilest one. In character? Oh, you know it. I would love to do some reading time and totally role play. Oh, I also missed Dusty's comment earlier that the wizards should be vomit green. So yeah, I'll track some of those down probably on eBay. But let me know for next reading time. I would love to... Doug in Texas got us these 3 books. So I'd love to read these. Would we be interested in reading more Revenge of the Rainbow Dragons next time? Would we like to get some more information about Pentagon and potentially the evil one with Pillars of Pentagon? Or do we want to totally switch it up and do Revolt of the Dwarves? I'll read the back of this one too. You are Galen, whose family is captured by dwarven warriors, revolting against human rule. Can you put a stop to the revolt of the dwarves? The paths you take may lead to freedom or death. The choices are yours. Only you can decide whether to try to warn the kingdom or to stop the dwarves yourself. Will you travel down the river of dragons knowing that magical monsters live there? Will you enter the enchanted forest and enlist the aid of the pixies? Or will you tackle the dwarves in their own dark caves and try to rescue your parents? No matter what choices you make, adventure and action are yours in endless quest books. You will find yourself returning again and again to experience new paths of excitement. Will your choices successfully prevent the revolt of the dwarves? Ooh, a lot of folks are voting for Pillars of Pentagon. Okay. I'll probably do another story time next week, and we'll give this one a shot. If folks are really enjoying the Pick Your Path books, let me know. I do have a lot of the modern Endless Quest books as well that Doug in Texas gifted us. Or if folks would be interested in doing completely different story times, let me know. But I have a feeling that pick your path and getting to interact a little bit is probably pretty fun. Miss Marcy, I don't know why we can't join the rebellion. I feel like the dwarves must have a reason they're rebelling. Like, did we do something first and we don't realize? Is this a dispute over land? Can we talk to the dwarves and work it out that way? I hope that we're given some choices like that. Right, Miss Marcy? Human rule feels a little bit gross. I believe these 3 books came in a bundle, and I'm pretty sure Doug in Texas messaged me on Twitter and said that Revenge of the Rainbow Dragons was a big reason they got this bundle. But yeah, we'll get a little bit more background on Pentagon next time. Yeah, Hannah, I do also want to know about the evil one. I don't know if for sure that they are going to be in this book, but it does seem like this one is prequel might not be the right word because it might have actually come out first, not... Oh, I mean, I guess it's still a prequel then. In any case, I think this one is chronologically before Revenge of the Rainbow Dragons because we do not sound like an apprentice in the Rainbow Dragons book. We do not sound like an apprentice in the back of the Pillars of Pentagon. So we must meet Pentagon and then become his apprentice, at least in one of the possibilities. Yeah. Hopefully we will find out about the evil one and what makes them so evil, but just vaguely evil, not necessarily particularly evil. And probably before we do more story time, either later this week or maybe over the weekend, I'm probably going to play a little bit more of either Glittermitten Grove or Potato, which I really liked. I was really nervous about playing Potato, which Dusty is voting for in the chat, because platformers in general I am not fantastic at, but everyone in chat was really, really supportive every time I needed to jump and avoid spiky things. Okay, yeah. Folks are big excited about Potato, and we just... but we can't forget about Snuggle Hills. I don't know, Jess. Sometimes I think Snuggle Hills is better off without me. Justice, I would put money on Luna being the real villain. And the raw inflation of the saving altars. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, I haven't touched the game at all because I want to just play it with on the stream so that folks don't miss anything. Chrysikon, Top Toe Town is, so that, for the folks who don't know, that is my Animal Crossing island. I kind of hadn't played for a month and just started playing again because of the summer update. And before I stopped playing, I had converted the main part of my island into a castle. Because you can take, I'm blanking on what those towers are actually called. Oh, that's going to bug me. They're like towers that you store grain in on like a farm, like all your excess grain. Silos. Thank you. You can build silos and turn those around, and they look like big castle towers with little doors and stuff on them. And then you can take panels and customize them with the same brick pattern as the silos and line those up as walls. So I turned my island entrance into a big castle, and I had put a bunch of stone walls just all over the place so that it looked like the castle kind of dissolves into castle ruins. And it looked pretty cool. I think it looked especially cool at night, and someone had gifted me some adventure music. I think it might actually be called KK Adventure. So I liked it, but it was just felt very limiting, and I didn't have a lot of like detail things to make it feel even more castle-y. And my town square was taking up a big section just the way my island is laid out, so I couldn't actually decorate that. So I think that's part of why I stopped playing, because I was just feeling like, oh, I rearranged so much stuff to change this, to make this castle, and I feel like I ruined my island. But I started playing again for the summer update. Jess helped me a lot with some bells so I could move buildings again. And my favorite part of my island, for those who have visited, is a section that looks like a little urban city, like a little, not quite a city, but more of an urban village. Suburban's probably not the right word either. It almost sort of like a city in like a Ghibli film, like still a little bit whimsical and eclectic. And so I was like, well, why not make that my main section? Yes, Jess, my fly-by-night witch market is one of my favorite parts. So I completely got rid of the castle. That took so much time. I terraformed the heck out of my island. And now when you enter, there are on the main section of the island 2 streets that I still need to decorate, but I have like all the terraforming and stuff done. And my plan is for there to be lots of different stalls. I have a little adventure stall with armor and stuff from my castle things and from a tomb that I used to have in my house that I'm redecorating now. I have one that has like little celestial items. I plan on, once I get a capture card, I'm trying to wait on filling in all the stalls and details so I can do that on stream with everybody. I also created a nice little residential area, so everyone's grouped together, and then some of my favorite villagers I gave some special sections in these woods that I've put on the back of the little urban areas I'm building. So I'm really excited about that capture card. My friend Hadil says that she has an extra one, and she's planning on being in my neighborhood in a little bit, so she's going to drop that off. And so that way I'll be able to share Animal Crossing with you all. Hannah, I can't wait to finish deadlines so I can play Animal Crossing again. Oh, I hope you get through those deadlines as well. I find in the mornings or on my lunch breaks, or I find it helps me actually take lunch breaks if I tell myself I'm gonna, swim and dive on Animal Crossing for 15 minutes. And it gives me a little mental break, which helps a lot. And you can actually get a lot of little tasks like that done. Exactly. Yeah, waking up early to play Animal Crossing. I remember when I was really hooked when the game just came out, I was waking up heckin' early to get some Animal Crossing in. And then I think before I was completely hogging the Switch, Dusty would play at night. The 5 a.m. music is so good. I feel like the late night / very, very early morning music, or I think I'm thinking of the late night music. I feel like the late night music for Animal Crossing, like, makes fun of you. They get so slow, and it just feels like it's going wah, 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 wah at you. Like, it knows you're up. Oh my gosh, Jess, I didn't know you did that. Dusty's on the other side of my computer. Dusty, I don't know if you see in chat, but Jess was visited our island yesterday and stomped all the cockroaches in your house for you. He's laughing, and I think he's typing a response. Necronomicon, even though it's available on YouTube, it feels, I guess, special when you're listening to it actually, when it's playing in the game. I don't know if anyone here has cockroaches in their Animal Crossing house, but when you stomp them, a little ghost shows up and just kind of, like, goes into the air. Justice says this game is wholesome, and then suddenly stomping cockroaches and catching tarantulas. Yes, Jess gifted Dusty, there's boats in bottles, and I guess one of the varieties of that is actually a little pirate boat, which I have placed next to Dustin's house so that should he play again when I'm not hogging the game, he can actually see it. Yes, Hannah, I'm getting stung by wasps. You can also get stung by mosquitoes, although I don't think anything happens except from it just being kind of annoying and you have to watch a little dialogue when you get stung by a mosquito. Yeah, see you for community, ChrisCon. Oh my goodness! What is happening? I feel so bad because we were going to stop, but now there's a bunch of people. Hello, everybody. Hi, everyone from Random Tuesday. I feel like we should play something for at least a little bit since folks have joined us. I could play some Glitter Mitten Grove, maybe. Oh, look at all these fun, happy emotes. Oh my gosh. I love this little cupcake emote. Hi, everyone. Oh, thank you, everyone, for the follows. Let's see. Random Tuesday, thank you. Cinnamon Coffee. Crit Witch. Saber Love. Oh, my goodness. Names Flying Past. Super Reeve Monster. Hi, we were just kind of cooling down. We just finished doing some story time with Revenge of Rainbow Dragons. Our friend Doug in Texas gifted us a few books that he got off of eBay, and they're ye old pick your path books. So we just saved the day, turned some evil wizards into piles of glitter, we think. All we know, they're piles of color, but we don't know what that means because color doesn't really work that way, at least for me. I don't know if you see piles of color. Yes, Justice, there are some new Pick Your Path books. So I have a few here. They are also Endless Quest, so they've kind of brought back that name. And we have the Rogue one. We have You Are the Wizard. And also You Are the Cleric. Which looks like this one might be a Chult one because it says Into the Jungle. I do not have the Mad Lib books. But that would be so fun. I forgot that there were D&D Mad Libs. Oh, Justice. I wish I could take credit for owning these books, but Doug in Texas also sent us. He sent us one package with these three, these new ones, and then he helped track down some old ones since the other books we were reading were Heart Quest. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. I think that was after like my first stream, so that was really nice that he gifted these. And then the two books that I had that I wanted to do as research from a Behold Her podcast were these Heart Quest books. Would not recommend Isle of Illusion unless you want to be really angry about having control over your own decisions. Being forced into relationships with skeevy men. If you're in the mood for that, would recommend Isle of Illusion. Otherwise, would not. Also, would not recommend this to any girls in your life if you're looking for a book that's specifically targeted to girls, or was. However, would recommend the first book we read that I did not have VOD set up for, called Secret Sorceress. This one, actually surprisingly refreshing for a book from the 80s, for D&D targeting girls. This one, you are super duper the decision maker. In fact, everyone else is a little bit useless. But there's a guy there who's a little bit like Tuxedo Mask, where he just sort of supports all of your decisions and tells you you're amazing. And when he finds out deep truths about yourself, that you're a sorceress, and that secret comes out, just tells you that that's kind of wonderful, amazing, and you shouldn't be ashamed. So, I mean, a little bit of a spoiler alert, but this one's actually pretty good. And I had a few viewers who are watching, or listening, I guess, to me read it, who said they would actually get this for their daughters. The author of this one, Linda Lowry, is actually the person I interviewed for Behold Her podcast. And she talked about how when she was first given this project, her first reaction to the idea that they were making a Heart Quest series combining romance and adventure so that girls could be interested in D&D, her first reaction was, that's gross. Like, why do we have to do that? And then her second reaction was, but I want to be a writer, so I should probably take assignments given to me. And she inserted this theme of how girls often have to hide that they're good at things, so they're not threatening to the men or the boys around them, and really don't always feel like they can be their full selves. And so she inserted that struggle into Secret Sorceress, which I think is I think that author's approach, knowing that that author's approach to this project was really interesting. She also talks about how, and this fell out, so I can actually just hold this up, how the original cover for Secret Sorceress had, I mean, she's a young girl, a young teenager, in the book, and the original cover, like, had her looking not super young teenager, if you get what I mean. And that was a big problem for Linda. So in our interview, she talks about how she really fought for, she was like, there's no way the cover of my book is going to look like that. So now we got this one with this kooky fella on the top. But the Secret Sorceress is just looking a little bit mysterious, like she's got a secret. Justice, I would heckin' love to revamp the Heart Quest books, and I kind of imagine it like, kind of like She-Ra, where it's all these powerful women or NB characters, but it's all about like the power of friendship and that aspect of your heart and working together. Yeah, Resonum. I think especially at that time, that was a really big deal that she pushed back on that. Yes. Yes to all the people saying yes. Someone told me, though, that someone is revamping the Heart Quest books. I forget the name of the writer, but it was someone who's done some other writing or comic book writing, maybe, for D&D. Sadie Lowry would be so awesome at that sort of revamp. Even just like the Princess Anthology, was that Sadie or was that someone else? Was that Ashton? I don't know. There's lots of like really cool DMs Guild. Thank you, Justice. That one was Ashton Duncan. Kino Puff, thank you for subscribing with Twitch Prime. Yeah, if you've got that free Amazon Prime subscription, please throw that my way. I'm trying to collect just a couple more. I think I need like 4 more subscriber points for us to unlock another emote. And if you're not aware, like folks who do have the emotes, feel free to throw them in chat so others see. I'll do that right now. This is our friend Jarmathy, a little bat. Black Eyes Slykin, thank you for subscribing with your Prime subscription. Yeah, Jarmathy the bat, based off of a Honduran white bat. They look like little cotton balls. Let's see if I can, hold on. I'm going to try to do some stuff live. Documents, boop, boop, boop. Oh, I see. Oh my gosh, a hype train is happening. Is that because Justice just threw some gift subs maybe? Or did someone throw gift subs? Oh my gosh. Justice subscribed. Thank you. Ifrithiel, Grim Lost. Doug, Eric Hall, Doug is gifting some subscriptions. So thank you. Everyone enjoy your new bat emotes. And potentially, here is, ooh, I don't know what that is that little box because of the gifted sub? I don't know, but that was a cool new notification I've not seen pop up on my screen before. At Spoiled Chestnut on Twitter, and I think that's also their twitch.tv/spoiledchestnut, made this emote for me just as like a fun surprise because we were tossing around emote ideas, and Dusty had suggested a vampire bat drinking blood, and so Krista at Spoiled Chestnut made this emote just for fun and said that I could have it for my channel if I want, and I love her. She's a beautiful, sassy, she looks like she's sipping some tea, but it is a blood bag. Yeah, so we could potentially unlock that one as our 4th one, but I also asked Krista to make a few others, so I'll let people choose. So at Lisa Penrose on Twitter is probably where I will post it, I'll probably do another stream, although I would kind of like to try to activate it before we do another stream. We'll figure it out. If you definitely want to make sure you see the emotes and get to help decide which one we activate, follow at Lysa Penrose. Yeah, sip of the juice. She's very pretty. Let's see if I can just add her just in the corner while we chit chat. Lysa emotes, little bat girl. Does she get to be bigger? Yeah. There we go. That's my friend. Justice says bats are awesome. They also are huge carriers of rabies, which makes them extra awesome and dangerous. Miss Marcy just Googled Honduran white bats, and you're dying. They're so cute. Aren't they adorable? They really look like cotton balls with faces and jumbo ears. And they kind of group all together on, I think, banana leaves. And it's really very adorable. Oh, Hannah, Jarmathy reading a book would be so cute. Yeah. Is there can you think of like an emote word or something we would pair? Or I guess would that just be for story time? Because I read books. I read books and Jarmathy reads books. Jess in mod mode. Thank you, Jess. Oh my god, A2 Husky. But would Jarmathy be afraid of books because they're made of trees? I'm really glad someone knows where the name Jarmathy for the bat comes from. From D&D Block Party. And the Behold Her podcast interview with Abria. She just came up on the fly with an NPC named Jarmathy Biggins. Although our Jarmathy is Jarmathy Arthur Penrose. But in the interview, Jarmathy Biggins is a tavern keep who is afraid of trees. So the tavern is made of stone, not wood logs. Because I guess even dead trees are a little bit terrifying. Oh, can you imagine if you were afraid of just trees in general and you were in a wooden building and it's just like you're within the corpse of what you fear? Ooh, Jess also supports Storytime Jarmathy. Goodness gracious. So I'm wondering, I feel like folks, maybe the book Jarmathy reads on the paper made from stone, so it's safe there. Yes. You can get special books to protect Jarmathy. Gosh, I love this bat. She's so cute. Oh my gosh, Jarmathy reads ebooks. Jarmathy has like a Kindle. Miss Marcy, I would support you having 10,000 Honduran bats. They're tiny, so I feel like you could. I really, really love bats. And, oh, we completed a level of the hype train. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for, yay. I got an emote out of that. Whoop, whoop. The vampire bat does have a name. Hold on. I posted it, but what did Krista say? Krista made her, so I let her name her. Sangri. Sangri the bat. Spelled like that. So that's our beautiful friend's name. I kind of like her just hanging out on the overlay with us. But I feel really passionately about pollinators in general. Bees as well. But bats are really great pollinators just because we need them for a lot of the foods that we eat. Like if you really like almonds or you put almond milk in everything, we would have 0 almonds without pollinators. This year is kind of ended up being crazy, as you all know, and there's so many other things that we are and should be focusing on too. But my original plan coming into this year was I really wanted to do some sort of fundraiser around Halloween for bats in particular, for a bat organization. Miss Marcy, I see what you did there. And while I cannot and refuse to approve, I acknowledge. I would love to do some sort of bat fundraiser. Maybe a D&D game where everyone plays bats, or some other RPG game, just to raise some funds to support them. Hannah, don't encourage this. Why would you betray me? Yeah, there's someone did, was it? I want to say it was the Wall Rock homebrew people on DM's Guild, because they do a lot of character options. But there is a bat folk on Dungeon Masters Guild that I've been really wanting to try. Yes, it is bat folk. There are two options, the Nictor, and the Desmodu. Two character races of darkness and blood, and it is by Wallrock Homebrew. Yeah, it's $4.95. I'm probably going to pick this one up. Oh, I've already picked it up. I just haven't used it yet. I'm glad they've started charging for their titles. Wallrock Homebrew has done a lot of pay what you want stuff, but I really encourage creators to, value their work. They should be paid for making stuff. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Michael Scott's Dunder Mifflin Scranton Meredith Palmer Memorial Celebrity Raise Awareness Perm Fun Run Face for the Cure. Oh my goodness. I'm ignoring you, Super Rave Monster. How dare you? I mean, if folks would be interested in raising some sort of bat fundraiser, with our little Jarmathy mascot and now Sangri, I'd love ideas, if anyone has ideas. Well, I have an idea for a campaign that takes American history and turns it around, like the Native Americans win the battle in the West and hold ground. That would be an interesting alternate history. I feel like I'd want like the right group to be ready to. Maybe bats are the reason. Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean bats are the reason? You could do something with a baseball and have an emoji for hey, batter, batter. These aren't ideas, they are just puns. How dare you make me say that out loud, Justice? I have an anger. Oh my god, Justice, you have a tiny train next to you now. What does this mean? Current hype train conductor. That's so cool. I like your little choo-choo. Miss Marcy says, so if I get 10,000 Honduran bats per Lisa's recommendation, does that make me an official rescue? Support me, support charity. Speaking of little badgy things next to people's names, I have someone who's working on little badges for folks who've subscribed. So that is, if you're subscribed for more than 1 month, your badges change and upgrade. I asked on Twitter what folks wanted, and I think pretty much everyone who replied said a rose of some sort for Rose Buddies. So I haven't seen what they're going to look like yet, but what I asked for was you start off as like a little black rosebud and it kind of blooms into a fully bloomed black rose, with like, and then eventually gets like little sparkles or a crescent moon or some fun witchy flair, to add. So that I love collecting like badges and different things like that. So definitely wanted those for the channel to support folks, because I think right now folks just have a purple star. We can do better than that. Look at this angelic rainbow Jarmathy in the chat. Okay. I am just chit-chatting now. So let's take a look at who we know who is streaming. Because I've probably got to go make some dinner, but I really appreciate Random Tuesday rating and all of the new friends that we've made and everyone subscribing. That just brings a lot of joy to my heart. I see Critical Bard is streaming. So if folks want to stick around, we will end today with a Critical Bard raid. He is playing The Last of Us. So I guess get ready to feel some feelings. If yell, thank you for the kind words and for helping us unlock an emote. I hope I'll show everybody what the emotes are on Twitter, but maybe we'll unlock our friend right here. If you haven't already, as the raid kind of does its little seconds countdown, and we head over to Critical Bard's channel, make sure you get some water. If you haven't had any water to drink today, you should hydrate. And goodness, do something kind for yourself. I'll see you all later this week, hopefully.